Whoa. I was waiting for that. No. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Just a couple quick things. If you have looked inside this little program here, you'll notice that we have several upcoming events. By the way, we did not build this living room set just for tonight. They asked us for something homey. We were able to provide it, but it's for Wait Until Dark, which opens this coming Thursday, a suspense thriller just in time for Halloween. Come on and check it out. In addition to any of our other events that's listed in here. I won't belabor the point. I was talking to the band backstage, and I said, we got a nice photo of you on the front cover, but it doesn't include everybody, and so you'll see more people on stage here in just a few moments than what appears on the cover. Just one of those things. Maybe they'll tell you who that extra person or persons are. You know, we love supporting Minnesota artists because, God, Minnesota has such a wealth of talent. Don't you agree? I mean, everywhere. We Are the Willows, coming out of the cities on an arts tour grant. We were supposed to have them here about a year and a half ago, but then in March of 20, something happened. I can't remember what it was. I think I had to stay home a lot as a result of it, and tours got canceled, so we're so happy to be able to bring them here now. But I want you to do something for me. The Minnesota State Arts Board, which provides the arts touring funds for We Are the Willows, Arena Dances, which is coming, Chris Koza, Jeremy Messersmith will all be coming here as a part of that grant, and other artists we've presented in the past under the Arts Tour Grant. Minnesota State Arts Board, using your tax dollars, which you allowed, graciously wanted them to have as part of a legislative constitutional amendment for great causes, is going to start changing their rules about touring grants to the point where we may not be able to bring artists like this anymore. I want you, when you leave here, after you're wowed by this band and by others that we may have, to go on a little crusade. Go to the Minnesota State Arts Board website. Tell those people, I think her name is Gens, tell her and others that you want to see more touring happening in this state. Here in Brainerd, Minnesota, we're not able to see bands like you're going to see tonight unless you travel to the cities or other places, right? That tour grant brings them right into this community. And while they're here, they go out. They've been here for an entire week doing outreach activities at the Alternative Education Center, and there are students here from that right there in the front row and some other places. They've gone to the senior center. They've gone to Bethany Good Samaritan. They've been all over the place interacting with community members. So that touring grant is an important part of our fabric here in Minnesota. Please, I hate to see it go. I know they're making an internal decision, but maybe if they hear from people outstate about this kind of thing, they might change those rules. That deserves a round of applause from you. Peter will probably tell you how some of these songs came to be. If you haven't already read up on it, it's fascinating and it's terrific, and it's so woven into family and into memories and so on. The stuff that great songs are made of, and you're going to hear them all here tonight by a wonderful group of musicians. Please welcome to the stage, We Are the Willows.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing tonight? Good. Thank you so much for being here. My name's Peter. This is Hilary. This is Addie, Travis, Jeremiah, and Josh. And like Patrick said, we're a band called We Are the Willows. I just got to say, we've just had such a fantastic week here in town, performing for and working on performing for folks and working on songs together and stories. It's just been a real gift. So, and speaking of gifts, it feels like a gift to have you here. Even just to be able to perform feels really nice. So thank you for being here. We're going to start out with a song called The Stationery in the Testament. And all the songs we're going to play for you tonight are based on about 350 letters that my grandpa wrote to my grandma between 1942 and 1946. During this time, he was stationed in the Southwest Pacific during World War II. And when I was in college, my grandmother gave me these letters, and as I read through them, I realized that this is a document of their courtship. And as I read them, it just became really obvious that I had to make songs about them. So we're going to do our best to share these tunes with you tonight, and we hope you enjoy it. This song is called The Stationery in the Testament.
I'm alive in heart and mind, a man among so few. It was a lonely art out in the cold, dark, dark. I burned your words, I breathed them in, I buried them as seeds where those trees had been, and deep in my skin I wrote your name, I spelled it out, I whispered it into my hands as a prayer, a testament there to all of you. That's part of me, is part of me, and you. All I can do is hope that it's true. I wander and I walk about the torn and tattered earth of my soul, and it doesn't help that wars placed inside of me, an ocean, a ravine in between my words and their meaning. The man I was, the man I am, the one I want to be are all above me and out of my reach. Though I'm alive, I survive, I'm a casualty of your love and war, and nothing
Thanks very much. Feels really good to be doing this again. Man, I don't know about y'all, but I feel like in the last year and a half, I've just like forgotten how to do stuff, like figure out whether or not somebody's joking. You know, just reading very basic like social cues, I'm really bad at now. Anyways, the next song we're gonna play for you is called Dear Miss Bransoner. My grandparents met in the fall of 1942, and when they first met, my grandpa would take any chance he could to talk to my grandmother, and so he took a job chopping wood for my grandma's dad, and that's kind of how they first started to really get to know each other. He would be working, and then he'd take a break and steal away and try to find my grandma and talk to her, and then her dad would tell him to get back to work, and I don't think he had that job for very long, but they got to know each other that way. This song's called Dear Miss Bransoner.
Dear Miss Branson, you are on my mind all of the time. I'm sleeping underground. Now I'll forget about babies born. My heart has made the Lord. Well, she is living proof that our intentions do what we want them to. A 21 gun salute will bring me back to you in a casket wrapped in a flag. I would be quarantined to a row of teeth in an army green cemetery yard.
Thank you very much. All right, everybody feeling okay out there? Okay. Man, like I said, we've had such a great time being here this week, and it kind of occurred to me, a couple of things occurred to me this week. So the next song we're going to play is called We May Never Grow Old, and I've been playing this song for about 10 years, and I can say that the title is incorrect. I've really been feeling that. But also, as you know, as we've been spending time with people this week, we've had so many great experiences, and many of those with folks who are, you know, far older than us, and we've found so much common ground and so many things we connect on. And it just occurred to me that these things that we have that connect us to other people, I think, are a thing that really keep us young. For example, we were working on a songwriting and storytelling workshop, and Travis and I ended up writing helping a resident write an episode of Star Trek. And Travis is a huge Star Trek fan, and I don't really know anything about it, but to see them, like, you know, talking about the ion flash drives, or, you know, whatever the terms are, it just, you know, this
Flash drives.
floor dwarves, maybe. But I mean, they were just speaking the same language, and I think there's just something really powerful and connective to the things that we share and the things we love. And, you know, for us here on stage, one of those things is music, and I'm hoping that since you're here, you love music too. And okay, let's tie this up. Where am I going here? But yeah. What's that?
I was just going to start a chant called music. Music. But it sounds like we don't need that. Sorry.
But yeah, the stuff that connects us is important, and I think when we can focus on that, I think a lot of other things can disappear. And so the song's called We May Never Grow Old.
May never grow old in a time when all things are known within a year. I'll probably be home, so don't fret. our love has no end unless you change your mind. So don't fret over me now. I've got God and coffee grounds in mind to write every other day. When this war is over, I'll wish one on the paper page. It's a light under a lampshade. Thanks very much. I'm seeing some really terrific COVID concert etiquette, which is obviously having masks and stuff, but also bouncing. I saw someone bouncing on their seat, and I'm like, yes, now I know you're digging it. Okay. All right, this next song we're gonna play is called Eva, Eva, Eva. And it's kind of like unbeknownst to me at the time, I guess I was writing a song that belongs in musical theater. So this song sort of lives in that world. It's bright and, bubbly. But as far as the content matter goes, it's kind of about like a juxtaposition or a dichotomy between what you need the world to be and what it is. I'll try to explain that a little bit. My grandpa would often write, making promises to my grandmother that he'll come home and that he'll always be with her, and they'll be together forever. And even though his circumstances were, he could make no such promise. He had a lot of uncertainty in his life. And so this song is sort of about holding those two things in tension. And I think we all have to do that to some extent. It's called Eva, Eva, Eva. Unless, of course, you are you attend the AEC, in which case it'll be called Pizza, Pizza, Pizza. I wanna be part of your photograph, the sepia of your past. I'll color it in when I'm home. You're a smiling picture in a picture frame. All the boys know your name, and the tune I hum picture of the world. I know the world I know is so. It's so beautiful, and it's terrible. You are beautiful. Yeah, you're beautiful. Someday I'll leave you for our heavenly home. And on that day, I beseech you to know that I need you in our heavenly Oh boy, if you could see what I am seeing now. Four motors flying a half-mile above the ground. In their path, the trees will all be honed down. Old Saul won't have to work hard to come up and around. Those trees and our enemies will bow down to us, never to rise, forever to rest. Am I certain of this? Am I certain of anything? All I need is you, even a half-truth of your silhouette in my living room. And what am I to do with my love for you? Should I bury it with those letters written to me, to me, to me, to me, to me, to me from you? So you think that those city boys would serve Sam well? Well, I believe that anyone could if they're not living in some living hell. What makes a man? Is it his circumstance? Well, what kind of thief could a man be if he's never had a want or need for anything? Whose hand above are we swinging in?
Thanks very much. Well, there was a period of time in my grandpa's letter writing that he signed off every letter with the number 373-22636, and that was his military ID number. And during this time, his letters were pretty far apart. He was a supply sergeant, and their group of people would go in after a battle was fought and move supplies through that area. And so he's witnessed to some pretty horrific things. And yeah, during this period of time, he just really didn't have much to say to my grandmother. And but one thing he said to her was that he no longer felt like a man, he felt like a number. And you know, I think you can't help but feel that way if you're in his situation. You're doing something that in a lot of ways is inhuman. So this song is about that. It's called My New Name. Everybody still doing okay out there? Good? Okay, cool. We're going to play a song for you called Honey Lamb, I Haven't Much to Write. And my grandpa would often call my grandma Honey Lamb. Does that sound familiar to anybody as like a term of endearment? Okay, this whole time I sort of thought it was like a whole, a thing people said back then, but I am now finding out as I ask people if they've heard of that term, that he just made it up. So, okay, cool. But yeah, oftentimes my grandpa would write my grandma just to say that he didn't have anything to write. And during this time, Army censorship was really stringent, and so he couldn't say much about where he was or what he was up to. And so he would just write to say, I don't have much to write. And I think he needed that, that line to another world, another reality. And I think it kept him going. This song's kind of about that.
Honey, lamb, with your belly full and your heart out in that open air. Love like a lover should. Dream of me and write often enough. Or pretend I haven't been gone very long, and I'll pray that heaven will stay its almighty hand. For I don't know when I'll be home. I'm a sling, I'm a stone in David's hand. Will I be saved? Will I be thrown at the brow of the world's Goliath man? Will you be bathing on the roof? Will I come to you on furlough? Or be sent to the gate to fight or to wait for a killing hand? So, honey, lamb, don't wait up for me, for I may already be asleep in the end.
Thank you. I don't normally do this, but I think this could be work. Does anybody have any questions? It's okay if you don't. I know I'm putting you on the spot, but yeah.
How long have you been playing?
I've been pretending I'm a musician for 20 years. But yeah, long time. Anybody else? Yeah.
What's the word? Will we get, what is it? Will we get the rights to, the song we helped write?
Oh, pizza, pizza, pizza.
Absolutely.
You'll be receiving the same amount that I make for songs, which is not very much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Well, we're going to play a song for you now called Wherever You Go, Whatever You Do. And it comes from a phrase that my grandmother wrote in my grandpa's yearbook, where it says, wherever you go, whatever you do, I'll be here thinking of you. And I think it became pretty appropriate considering my grandpa was so far away and he was thinking of her. So far away, so much for time and place, my envy. And now I'm here, more or less you're there. My limit serves me as a sad plane. Green the ground until it's brown. Time has a mind to hoe it down so far away. Not too far for me to say. My confidence in you is calm and complete. So long as you reserve a place for me, as I've reserved a place for you, wherever you go, whatever you do. What if I am afraid to die? Will you hold my hand? Take me to the promised land. Thank you. Well, I've got a couple more tunes here for you. Again, thank you so much for being here. This next song is called Turpentine to an Open Wound. And when my grandpa returned from the service in 1946, he moved to Minneapolis and apprenticed under his uncle as a glass engraver. And even when he moved home, he still didn't see my grandmother very much. And this song is kind of about this period of time where he was only about 80 miles away and still wasn't seeing her very much. And yeah, he really, really wanted to see her. And that's what this tune is about.
Back in the old days, I had my own way of loving you. So in truth, honestly, frankly, as can be, do or don't you want to marry me? Or wait as long as need be?
Thanks very much, y'all. This is our last song for you tonight. It's called Wandering Out of My Head, and it's about the last letter that my grandpa wrote. It was in March of 1946, and he was writing to let my grandmother know that he was on his way to their wedding. The song is about kind of taking stock of, who you've been and who you are and who you want to be, and it's about thinking about the future. And and speaking of taking stock of where we are, just want to say again, we're really, really grateful for all of you being here and really appreciate you taking your time to be with us. Thank you. Yeah. We have some CDs and vinyl and posters and like 15 T-shirts out there. Please come take a look at the merch if you're interested. Again, thanks so much. This song is called Wandering Out of My Head.
Despite always hope and all we don't know, and all we do, roots in the ground and out of our heads. We will have children there, and they will have kids in their children's hair, will curl and their kids will grow in and out of our heads. We two will both grow old, lay down in our beds in the ground low, low, plant ourselves into their hearts and out of their heads.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thanks to the folks at the Chalberg for having us, and Mr. Ryan Mock for mixing us. Thanks so much. Have a great, great night. See ya.